looking at a small collection here of 5 18th century American imprints, all of them in 18th century bindings as issued. This is a 1799 imprint here, still tightly sewn and bound. The front cover is held by the binding cords. It's loose. This book is in typical 18th century American imprint condition. The front cover is detached. There's some early owner's inscription, including what's quite interesting you see in a fair number of these books of this era, is the person, the owner, wrote when and where they bought the book and the price they paid. And that is an interesting aspect to books of this nature. This is 1797. It's an instructor instructive manual with a wide range of topics being covered, including numismatic values of coins here, compared by different states. Fascinating, really. And there's interest tables and also all sorts of hints and instructions for measuring. We see this fold-out engraved plate. All engraved plates of the 18th century are inherently interesting because they represent the earliest efforts of engraving in the United States. And so that's the second book. The next one here is still well-bound as issued with the original title label. It's an 1795 Philadelphia first American edition of a Goldsmith work. It's also tightly bound. The sort of uniform discoloration of the text block is typical for American imprints of this era. And here we see another book with a detached front cover, but this book is interesting because it's 1794 Boston, and we're looking now at copper engraved plates, likely American produced, and as you can see, they're rather primitive in nature, or that one is, and the others are as well. The book is tightly sewn. Here is an engraving there. You'll notice that they're rather simplistic and unsophisticated, and that is a result of the engraving level of engraving art being relatively new for Americans at this date. There wasn't the established engraving trade like there was on the continent of Europe. And so any engravers in the United States, if they did not study abroad, would have had to have been trained here. And so the final book in the lot is this still well-bound original binding. This is 1795. It's a religious book, as so many of books of this era are. What's interesting here, in addition to the fact it retains its blanks at the front and the rear, is this list of subscribers. So the book would have been subscribed to prior to publication to raise money for it in order to have it be published. And this interesting assortment of 5 18th century American imprints is currently available on my website, briandemambro.com.